Give me your love, give me your love. Give me your love, give me your love. It's a very easy song, okay? And you all know it. And if you don't know it, I don't know how you're even watching the show right now.
Wow, don't do that to our young fans.
Look at our young fans.
Lots of young girls watch the show. They come up to me in Target and they say, "Hey, Miss Malcolm." I say, "Hey, my babies."
Hi, my loves.
Right.
Welcome to Still Diverted.
What up, y'all? Today is Friday, February 23rd. This is Still Diverted. I'm Malcolm.
I'm Ken.
So this week we are talking about Black Panther was not the only Black to have a big cinematic release this weekend. Blac Chyna has a sex tape.
And Ja Rule is out here in the streets rallying up with people who are NYCHA residents at City Hall.
Yep. Plus, one of hip-hop's first ladies has a biopic coming to Netflix, and we're all pretty excited around here. Let's start the show. It's Still Diverted. Alright, what up? Welcome to Wakanda. Forever. Alright, so listen, this week let's jump right into it. So,
I haven't watched yet.
You haven't watched?
I haven't watched. You know I haven't watched.
So then you should just leave.
So you should just...
There's the door. In the words of New York.
Homework.
In the words of New York. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Actually, I can slap shit out of you. Do it. Slap you, bitch. That's when Pumpkin went home. All right, anyway. So you have not... You're acting like...
Grabs hair.
Right? You're acting like a real colonizer today.
Oh, wow. I tried to go watch it with the baby on Sunday.
Tried to go watch it with your baby.
Yeah.
Opening weekend.
Yeah.
Your 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you hate us?
Do you hate gay?
Do you...
I want him to see it too.
Don't bring no child under the age of 7 to a new release for a Marvel opening weekend. You bring that nigga to the Wednesday matinee. That's the one that's for kids and babies, where they be crying the whole time and be like, ain't for me.
Let's talk about Dream's mother, please.
I'm about to talk about Ashton's mother, because you should never. She's not even doing that well. All right, so this past week, actually, was it Tuesday? It was Monday, right on President's Day. So Monday afternoon, we opened up Twitter, was scrolling or whatever. You know, we were looking at all the Wakanda posts, Wakanda forever. And then it was like, boom, Blac Chyna sex tape. So
no condom at all.
No condom. Who's giving head with a condom on?
People do that.
It's such a waste of time. If I have to get anyway, it's neither here nor there. Either here or nor there.
Actually, when I first opened up my Instagram, that was the first thing I saw. And surprisingly, I just thought it was just another video of somebody getting head. Mm-hmm. So I just kept scrolling.
Because that comes across your timeline all the time. You're like, I'm used to people sucking dick on my news feed. It's just another Monday. On Ken Mira's Instagram.
And then I just was like, oh, this must be Blac Chyna because of our eyelashes. But I didn't think anything else of it. I was just like,
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, in any event, video surfaced of Blac Chyna performing fellatio or their lack of. Apparently, the mystery man in the video has been revealed, I guess is a good word, as her ex, Michi. Now, the thing about Michi is... Cutie. Now, he is very cute. But Michi's very light-skinned. And that was a very chocolate penis. Mm. But people in the comments on the Shade Room and Jasmine Brand and all these other, Instagram blogs was basically saying... Somebody was like, I'm mad light-skinned. My dick is the darkest thing on my body.
Right.
I said, okay.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that doesn't matter. I feel
like it was a big difference, though. Like, complexion, I mean, it was also dark in the room, but they're like Wesley Snipes' penis. Like, it didn't look like...
it was not that dark.
It was dark. It was dark. But you know what? My brightness is always down on my phone, though, so maybe it was a little bit lighter. But it did not look... Anyway, let's neither here nor there.
The point is,
he didn't release it, she didn't release it, so they're all trying to figure out who released it. They've called the cops. The cops are now involved. And everybody's trying to get to the bottom of this. Lisa Bloom has spoken out. She says, this is revenge porn. This is not okay. It has nothing to do with China sucking dick terribly on camera. This has to do with her not consenting to it being released. So, here's the problem for me.
Here's the problem.
Of course, this is really bad. This shouldn't have happened. Blah, 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 blah. My problem is, it was very lazy head. I'm eating a Jolly Ranch right now on purpose. I'm trying to teach you girls how to warm up. Guys, too, actually. I'm trying to teach you all how to warm up and start the party. Get you a Lifesaver. Get you a Jolly Rancher. Get you, what's the other one I'm thinking of? A Starburst. And just get the juices going in there. You just got to warm it up. But it was just so lazy.
The dude
and
was on top of her.
Okay, that is, yes, the position was weird too. But I feel like even if he wasn't, it still would have been lazy head. It was just lazy. I don't know.
If I'm laying back and a dude is on top of me, there's but so much moving I can do unless I'm using my fingers.
Those work.
They do, and she was not using them.
Yeah, she was.
But in this video specifically, like, you can see, like, him, like knocking on her lips.
What's he doing? What was that? For our vision impaired viewers, can you do that again in case they missed it?
I'm just saying, like, we're all criticizing how she gives head, but the reality is that if I'm on top of somebody's face, like, there's but so much moving they're going to be doing.
If you were on top of my face right now, like this, I feel like I can still do a good job. Because he wasn't like this on her chest. He was like here.
Okay.
And she could have just, if she wanted to make it happen, she could have made it happen. She could have got up and made it work. That's all I'm saying.
If she got up, it would have been a totally different
But
story.
it was like 2 minutes of not getting up. After 30 seconds, I'd have been like, okay, we have to switch positions because this is not going to work for neither me or you.
It's only 59 seconds. It's an Instagram video.
No, I saw 2 minutes. I saw a Twitter video that was 2 minutes long.
Damn.
2 minutes. But, yeah. But a lot of people, and here's my thing. It's not even, I mean, the way she was giving head was terrible. It wasn't.
What did she do?
She didn't do anything. It was just, I'm not going to reenact it here on this because niggas will give you forever.
So
forever.
She was just slurping and like.
Just like
she didn't want to move her head. Is that what it was?
She just wasn't moving her head. I don't know if she didn't want to. But she also looked a little drunk or like inebriated. Like she looked spaced out. So I'm not really sure.
So she didn't do anything. He was just like jiggling her
No,
mouth.
she was doing all of the moving. Just moving terribly. You gotta watch it again.
It's so wild because I saw it, but I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't think it was going to blow up like this. Like, who gives a...
It's Blac Chyna. What?
Exactly my point.
We've never seen her have sex before.
No.
No.
This is the first... I don't know. I feel like I've just seen so much of her.
Yeah.
That it's just like I could imagine her doing it. And
Yeah.
at this point, it's just like...
I mean, in any event, I feel like it was just great technique, poor execution. Because really all she was working on was the top of it, like the head itself. And honestly, when it comes to giving head, that is like the most important part. Like Tammy Roman, I think she was on somebody's podcast. And she was like, Reggie hates when I give him head because I only acknowledge like the first like 3 inches of it. And I was like, okay, well, shout out to him for having 3 inches and then more to work with. Because, you know, some cannot. But, yeah, everything is at the top. You know, just keep it at the top. I feel like when people start deep throating, it's only for the pleasure of the man of like illusion.
Yeah.
Where it's like, ooh, he or she made it disappear. But when that comes to actual, like, you know, getting the job done,
stick to the mushroom.
Stick to the mushroom.
Yeah.
Mushrooms forever. All right. Anyway, let's move on. So, Ja Rule was out at City Hall this past week.
Ja Rule was out at City Hall this past week.
Justin Atkins, what's his real name?
I have no idea, but for those who don't know, Ja Rule is from Queens. Like, he's from New York.
Jeffrey Atkins. Yes. Jeffrey. I knew it was something.
Come on, New York Post.
Right.
So, check it out. So, he's out here like, the mayor, the governor, they should all be ashamed of themselves. He's like,
okay.
These are Americans, New Yorkers living in a third world conditions and should not be this way. And Jeffrey Atkins.
Hi, you're watching On Call on New York 1. We're going to go to line 2. Jeffrey Atkins is calling in. Hello, Jeffrey.
I think it's just really cool. It's super random, but to have just any kind of celebrity who comes from these types of grounds and these type of conditions come out and speak about it, 2 points for you.
No, legit, because all these rappers love to rap about, you know, I was in the streets, I was in the hood, now I used to live in the P's, now I live in the crib at the gate, like.
Wow. So a whole Cardi B line.
I was like, there's one line I'm thinking of that was like something about the projects, but
right.
You know, but yeah, so they all want to like rep this flag and I be in the hood and I be in every staircase, but you know, y'all talking about the pissy elevators, but not doing nothing about it. So Jeffrey is like, these elevators are pissy. There's no heat.
The pissy elevators is more of a social thing. Like, housing authority can't do anything if, like, niggas is out here. Like,
they can't. Shut up, I'm fighting the case.
Okay, but, you know, just hearing about this story in general made me think about the historical background of it, because that's just what I like to do. I like to look up things. I want to find out, like, what's really going on. Like, how is this all really happening?
Here goes the class presentation. So next we're going to call to the front of the room Kenya. I believe she has a little bit more to say about this.
So, 80% of public housing tenants are suffering from heat outages according to the city council, and over 20 developments won't see renovations in 2022.
Until 2022.
Right, until 2022. But literally there are like over 250,000 people on the waiting list. So granted, we are in terrible conditions. We are dealing with no heat, no hot water, paint chippings, wall chippings, bubbles in the paint, like
in the ceiling,
in the mold, lead paint. And we all know about the investigations that were happening earlier this year, towards the end of 2017 too. And it's just really been getting worse. Elevators broken, and
elevators are broken because it's pissing them.
No.
Oh,
that's just people peeing. Oh. It just stinks. We got to do better. But
never mind. I'm about to ask one of the age-old questions. Like, why would you piss in an elevator in the building where you live in? I would go to your building and piss in the elevator. Like, like if I lived in 244, I would definitely go to 198 and piss in the elevator because it's not my elevator. I'm not gonna piss in the elevator in 244
that I live in. Yeah, I remember one time my sister told a girl who we went to high school with that people piss in the elevator sometimes because we don't have toilets, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you serious?" And
who said that?
Shakira. It's just like, yeah, some people don't have toilets, so they just piss it. That's a bitch.
Ma'am.
Like, yes.
Ma'am.
It does get bad in public housing, but that is not a justification. Anyway, so for those who don't know, public housing in America started back in the 30s. Now, this is like an international thing. Everybody has their kind of public housing. In North America, the projects is a real different kind of aesthetic.
They're nice in other places, though. I've seen the projects in like the South, and I'm like, well,
I was just about to say,
there's some projects in the South that look like a Young Jock video. Now, those are not the nice projects,
right? Okay.
And there's other ones where you're like, this is the hood. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, bitch, how?
They look like condos.
How? Right. Like, there's no piss in the elevator. There's no elevator. It's like a little townhouse.
It's like a little house. Exactly. It's like a little village. But in North America, we have like these buildings and these huge buildings set up.
Like The Wire.
So in the 30s, when they were first starting to begin, at the time, it was Roosevelt who was the president, and he created the U.S. Housing Act, and that was just for people to have better and safe conditions, and for people who were middle class, Caucasian, who needed
white people,
who needed places to
colonizers,
live, and they could not do private housing. Like, they couldn't just go to a private owner, or they couldn't get a mortgage. Like, shit was hard. This is depression at the time too. And then in 1949, then there was the first Housing Act with Truman, but he ended up saying, listen, we need the World War II vets to have a place to live. So that ended up forcing out the people who were already low income or middle class and didn't have a place to stay. And then boom, Eisenhower. Yeah, Eisenhower came in with the second Housing Act. Mm-hmm. And he was like, we need to start rehabilitating the slums, which didn't...
That's a direct quote?
Right. Like, it didn't do anything because...
The slums.
What... Nigga. Anyway, so boom.
Mr. White Nigger.
So then 2 years later, 1956 comes in, and then the Housing Act of 1956 giving relocation to everybody that was displaced back in the 40s. They said, you know what? We know we forced you out. We want to help you. Come on back in.
Forgive the sirens. Welcome to New York.
So this is excluding minorities and pregnant women. If a pregnant woman was found to be living in public housing, she would be forced out. She would be dealing with outrageous fines because it's like, you're not married. You don't even have a family. Like, it's just you and your children.
Oh, but if
you gotta go.
But if you're married,
yeah, if you're married,
you are more likely to stay.
In America, what you define as a family is a mother and a father and a child. There is no
married.
And married.
Okay.
Yeah, like, there is no
that's interesting.
Mom and son, or just father and daughter. Like, everybody has to be together. Boom, 1962 came in. Kennedy's our president, and granted, he's not the one who implemented it. It was a social worker who's also a civil rights advocate. His name is Whitney Young Jr., who said we needed equal opportunity in Housing Act, and he's the reason why, like, they put civil rights and housing together, and they were like, you know what? We need to give these African Americans a place to stay. But it just so happens that redlining came in place, and, segregation and discrimination and prejudice and all this other beautiful things that we have in the DNA of this country. And it only just left like a lot of poor blacks in public housing. And
She delicious.
You were watching Disney Channel.
You're watching NYCHA. Don't piss on the floor. That's all it is.
It's so fucking stupid.
That's all it is.
So, because of all those things were happening, a lot of companies and industries and establishments started to move out of the city and was like, we're going to go to the suburbs. But if y'all still want a job, just take a 2-hour route to this side of town. So it just made everything worse. And now we're here in 2018 dealing with public housing. And what are they trying to do now? Subsidized housing is now going to become market level housing. And what is that? It's when you reassign the person who's been on the waiting list with nothing. It becomes open market housing. So people who are middle class and people who are upper class and they need a place to stay and they need something that's rent controlled. And if something is on the market and a tenant has already left, the people who are on the waiting list don't matter. And like I said in the beginning, there are over 250,000 people with families who are in need of shelter and housing, and niggas just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So we're back to basically square one.
I mean, this is all about the change, though, because when the real awakening will come is when they knock down all of the projects and build up condos, and then everyone will be happy.
That's pretty much what it is, y'all. So shout outs to Ja Rule.
Yeah.
And shout outs to everybody else who's rallying.
We could use a lot more celebrities that grew up in public housing to speak up about this.
I mean,
because y'all know it's shit. Y'all know it's terrible.
You know what?
Because I know there's so many people now that have heard about. Because I've been hearing about this for a while, these rallies they've been doing or whatever at City Hall. But I'm pretty sure a lot more people, not even a lot more people are hearing about it. I'm pretty sure a lot more outlets are covering it. I think it was on the Shade Room actually. So again, celebrities, there's power in your voice, there's power in your platform. Use your power wisely.
I just want to make it.
I was gonna make a Wakanda reference, but
back.
I held it down. So my pregnant pause, I was about to make a Wakanda reference.
My pregnant pause.
I'm not going to do it. Excuse me.
Anyway.
Let's move on. All right, so the queen, or one of the first ladies, I don't want to call her the queen, because that's, it's a strong title just to give to one person. Crown is heavy. But,
you gave it to Little Kim earlier.
One of the first, shut up, no I didn't. One of the first ladies of hip-hop is getting a biopic on Netflix.
So annoying.
One of the baddest to ever do it. One of my forever idols. She's up there with Queen Latifah and MC Lyte. Oh, child. Remy Ma's getting a biopic on Netflix, and I cannot wait. No, Roxanne Shante. So Roxanne is getting, it's not getting, it's done already. So it'll be out, March 23rd? March
23rd, Lalia Shante Gooden,
yes,
who is known as Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne.
It's really dope, her story, where she was 15 years old. She started out rapping at a really young age.
She lived in a project. She should get out there with Ja Rule.
She also lived in Queensbridge.
Is that where Ja Rule grew up?
Yeah. Well, I think so.
It just said Hollis, but I didn't know which project.
Yeah, I saw
Nas is from Queensbridge.
Nas is from Queensbridge.
Yes.
KRS-One, a lot of... No, I think they're from the Bronx.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, they're from the Bronx. Jay-Z is from Brooklyn. Why are you doing that to me?
Keep you on your toes, baby. I keep you on your toes.
Oh, and it's funny enough, because Queensbridge is the largest projects in North America. But,
wow.
Fun fact. That's where Roxanne Shante grew up, and when she was younger, she used to rap a lot. Her mom used to put her in little rap battles with some dudes around the block.
And rap battles.
Yeah.
Go out there and rap with the boys, baby.
Yeah, and she would win some money, which is super amazing, especially as a kid. When you creatively, sometimes you don't know where to go because you feel like you're going to be a cornball, but to be that young and that fierce, yeah, I'm out here as a rapper too, and a woman, shout outs to you, especially in the 80s, girl. So, long story short, she got with these guys. She said, yo, I got a dope rhyme, and I think we could go against these dudes who is named UTFO. You probably have heard of them before when they came out with the song Roxanne, Roxanne. Then she pretended, she was like, you know what, I could be Roxanne, and I'll be like, fuck out of here. Y'all lames, y'all can't touch me. And you know the rhythm of rap, how it was back in the day. It's not like how now, where we have the dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's not what we have now.
I was wondering what that was.
What's the trap music? How does the It's like right. And in the 90s it was more like hip. So in the 80s it was more like like it was very rhymey.
That's actually pretty good to not be singing one actual song, but like hit each decade's but like cadence and like, it's like rhythmic pattern.
I've noticed that in R&B too. Like in the 70s, I feel like everybody was singing like this, or maybe that's like 60s.
That's more 60s,
right?
Yeah.
And then 90s, like everybody is singing like this, and you're just like, how does everybody have the same voice? Like, anyway,
the auto tune. Oh, we're gonna get back to her black ass in a minute.
Oh boy, so
fuck you. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful.
I knew you saw that.
I was big mad.
So yeah, she guess. She had a rival with UTFO, and since then, like, her career was like beefs with everybody. And she's even said, like, you know, that's what rap was about. That's what hip hop was about. Yeah. Like, you had a beef, and you know, you had to be the best. Like, you couldn't just like be like, oh, you know, I don't want a problem. I don't want a problem.
Yeah.
So
I like that she's getting it as opposed to someone like Queen Latifah or MC Lyte.
Right.
Because I feel like you have to be like a really true hip hop head to know Roxanne Shante. Like,
fact.
Everybody knows Queen Latifah. Like, everybody knows MC Lyte. Like, everybody knows like those big heavyweights. And I mean, Roxanne is definitely not a lightweight at all. But I feel like when it comes to people that have gotten their credit over the years, she's not one of them. In any event, I'm just happy that it's her getting her credit. And I can't wait to watch it. So March 22nd, we'll all pull up. Let's crash Netflix again like we did for Luke Cage. Like we would have done for Black Panther if it was on the Netflix. But it was at the box office.
Yeah.
And shout out to them. They won like...
Forrest Whitaker. Shout out to Pharrell. Shout out to Mimi.
Pharrell? Who are we talking about?
These people who produced the Netflix biopic.
Forrest Whitaker did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a hand in it.
I thought you were talking about Black Panther because Forrest Whitaker is in Black Panther. And I was like, Pharrell was not in Black Panther.
Wow. Shout out to Forrest Whitaker just being strong and old and out here.
I know that's right. He's not even that old. But
how old is he?
I mean, he's not like Morgan Freeman old.
He like in his 50s.
Yeah. That's not old.
No, it's not.
But yes, in any event. All right, so let's get into this week's Slave Sis. So, you have to be an asshole. So this is actually last week's Slave Sis, but we overtalked our time. So,
oh my God, why you gotta tell them that?
Because we already said it. So there you go. Look at us giving you recycled information. Welcome to the art of television.
Jasmine Fenalatar. I'm just trying to give it like a Jamaican accent, and I'm like...
You just say things however you want, because she asked me 3 times before this show, how do you say Mahershala Ali? I said Mahershala. I
feel like...
Mahershala.
Because that name sounds like it has an accent, and I want to use the accent. I don't want to be like mad, like gaudy.
When that man gets on TV, he says, hello, my name is Mahershala Ali. I'm from Moonlight. And I say, you sure are from Moonlight.
Anyway, so Jasmine is a pilot of Jamaica's first bobsled team.
Bobsled. Like Cool Runnings.
Yo, really though. It was so dope, like, to know that movie, but it came out like in the 90s and actually see like a team and it's full of black women.
Well, how do you think they got the idea for the movie?
Wait, what?
How do you think they got the idea for Cool Runnings?
Because of these women?
No.
They just came out. What you talking about?
Slap fire at
I'm so confused.
Bobsledding.
Yes.
The team.
Yes.
Or teams like bobsledding are very popular in the lands of your people.
My people.
Yes, you West Indian people. Hence, Cool Runnings.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's cool to like know that movie from way back when, and then actually see people doing this. Like, I never knew like Jamaicans was out here really bobsledding. Like, I didn't.
That's what we do in Jamaica.
Anyway, she was in the Winter Olympics in South Korea last week, and she started crying because the talk of representation has been going on for the last 2 weeks between Black Panther and the Winter Olympics, like back and forth. And she started crying because it really touched her and resonated with her being a little girl in Jamaica and not seeing somebody like her, and how important it is and how significant it is for somebody who's in Jamaica or just in the West Indies in general, being young, black and brown, growing up and seeing somebody that looks like them so they can aspire to be them, as opposed to something stereotypical like entertainers and stuff like that.
You stereotypical. Put that on your blog site.
Listen, I'm not mad. You know, and even in the talk of representation, no shade, no tea, but I've really realized how people have been going super hard for Black Panther, and it's great, but I've realized, like, I don't think a lot of people identify with their Blackness, like, a lot. Or, like, on a daily basis. I feel like I'm so Black all the time that I don't need to be as proud as other people. Like, just certain things that I think about, like community, organization, just unity and the love of us all the time. This is something that I look forward to. So, seeing people so proud is just like, are you not like this every day?
This sounds very elitist.
Is it just me?
You sound very elitist right now.
I feel like elitists would be way more bougie about it.
No, you are your approach is bougie, but your delivery is not. But I feel like your intention is bougie.
Why you say that?
Because you're almost saying like, oh my God, like why are you guys so happy about this movie? Like Blackness happens every day.
I mean, it does though. Like, do you not
see
it? Am I the only one seeing it?
No, we all see it, but we also all see the lack of Blackness that happens every day.
No, I'm not knocking that.
So we're very happy that this moment is here.
As you should be. As you should be. I'm not knocking that at all. But
as we should be. We should be.
But it just, I don't know, but everybody's bringing it back to like the representation of kids and like the kids need to see this, when the reality is that kids are going to love this and they're going to be like, wow, this is a great movie. It's so much fun. And then they're going to leave it at that.
I think you're very mistaken. I do. I think right now, maybe at like 7 years old, kids might see this and be like, this is a great movie. Because you don't realize the things that have shaped shape you into being an adult, and then the things that shape your Black experience. So like when I was a kid growing up watching Gullah Gullah Island, I was like, oh, this is a great show. Like right. I wasn't thinking like, oh my God, this is going to change my life. But now looking back on it, I'm like, oh my God, that show had such a big impact on me, because there was like Gullah people and Geechee people living or like just living and being on TV. And again, like in the moment, I didn't know like that was such a big deal. But now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, like that was like a big part of shaping who I am today. No. Even as simple as Susie Carmichael on fucking Rugrats.
No,
I was like, yo, like this too. I mean, again, it's just nice to see people that look like you on TV. Even if you don't realize like, oh, this is changing my life. It's just like, oh, that person looks like me. Oh, they talk like me. They got hair like blah, blah, blah. I think it's just I have a great example. Oh my God, I have a great example. So my friend Asha is a teacher. So she teaches at this school up in I kind of gave it away already, but a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these kids, Latino, Afro-Latino, but, Latina, colorism, whole lot going on there. So a lot of them are into, like straightening their hair and, being as light as possible and so on and so forth. So one day they were talking about dreadlocks and a student was like, oh, like dreads are dirty. And then one of the other students was like, no, dreads aren't dirty because, Miss Asha has dreads. So like even just being present in a space not automatically, but just being present someplace just debunks narratives and theories, and it just opened up. I think just being there just matters so much already. So even if kids go see this movie, the fact that there are like a full Black cast and Black people of many different shades. It's not just, a light-skinned Tyler Perry production. The fact that this takes place in Africa, I mean, ideally, a fake country. Yeah. But ideally in Africa, like, I think all those things are very important to the shaping of young minds.
If there was not so much already going on in our communities, I could probably be just as celebratory and be like, you know what, let's create a GoFundMe page to take everybody to the movies. But there are, like, museums out there, and there are, like, internships and fellowships and programs, and people already working in the trenches, and people working like grassroots programs and all these things to get kids together so they can go to like the African American Museum in DC, or so they can go to these like workshops and not I don't want to like knock it to be like, oh, just a movie, but it's just like, damn, I just wish there were other routes. Like, people would go hard about other things that are going on right now.
That is true. I do agree with that, but I wouldn't knock that with the replacement of this. Like, I do think, like, I agree. Like, people should be taking kids to museums and to, I mean,
I'm just saying,
for 8-year-olds to do an internship is a far stretch. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, imagine, like, if I went to the African American, I still haven't been to DC in general, but I could only imagine what it would have been for me if that museum was there, and somebody was like, "We're going on a trip." 12 years old, 10 years old, and I'm just like,
see, but even
this is opening
but then you also
so
have
much
to,
more.
This is very true, but you also have to think of how a child thinks, like as an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Right.
So, like as a child, you're 1,000 more times into a Marvel movie than you would be a museum.
No, that's a fact.
That's just the facts of it.
Total
so
fact.
I think sometimes if you just put the medicine in the candy, once the child gets old enough, they'll be like, oh, I actually don't mind taking medicine because medicine makes me feel better and it's great for me. So, again, I'm definitely not knocking what you're saying, but I think there is something that is said about this. There's something that should be said about this movie that it is very important and very on time. So, that's all.
No.
And I also think because you haven't seen it, it hasn't affected you the same way. I think if you weren't on social media all week, and if you would have seen it and then saw the hype online after, I feel like you would feel different because I feel like you've only seen the hype of it, you haven't seen the movie yet. I think you're getting like that. I can't find the right word. Not blowback, but blowback. Hey, China. You're getting like you're seeing the mess of the party, but didn't get to enjoy the party. So it's just like, what the fuck is all these cups on the floor? No,
and you know what? I can see why you would say that, but I feel like even before the movie came out, people were jumping up about it, and I still couldn't like I felt it like, yes, black cast, this is dope, this is amazing, this is exactly what I want to see on my TV screen. But I feel like in thinking of the bigger picture, I think internally, like just as black people, we have a lot more to do. There's just so much more to deal with. And this movie is making such a big impact, but as soon as this movie goes away, it's just like, you know, niggas is still getting shot. You know what I mean? People are still living in terrible housing conditions. Like, and where are the GoFundMe pages? Where's the awareness around the whole nation? You know what I mean?
It's like you're poo-pooing in our parade.
I'm always the negative Nancy, so I'm used to it. I'm used to it. No, I can't even knock it.
Because it's escapism. So you're like taking a movie that's supposed to be for pure entertainment and fun. I'm serious.
No, you totally got it. I'm usually negative Nancy when it comes to stuff like this. This is simply escapism. Because I just know that.
But we all know that, girl. You're not the only one that's like, oh.
But if everybody knew that, then it wouldn't be like, oh, let's raise $4,000 to do this. When I know there's so much other shit going on, and that $4,000 could go to like some new textbooks in a public school that is like renewed, and only teachers from Ohio teach there because they want to get their master's degree and then go back to the Midwest. Like, I'm just in reality all the time. I feel
really like you're taking 6 on one hand and put 12 on the other. I feel like 6 can live here, 6 can live here. And
no, I'm not. Like, I feel like this is probably this is a phenomenal movie from what I've heard, especially between Twitter and Instagram.
I'll tell you.
Even before, like, it came out, like, internationally, when people were just going to, like, screenings and stuff. Like, I heard amazing things about it. But I just know there's a lot going on, and I think that if we could just use the same energy and reroute it to what's happening right now in our communities, then a lot of things would be way more easier to push and take action on.
All right. I'll give you that. All right, let's get out of here. As always, you can get at her at Ken Miro. You can follow me at _HeyMalcolm. You can always tweet along with the show using the hashtag StillDiverted. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and like us on Facebook at StillDiverted. So that's it. That's the weekend. Oh my gosh! Shout out to Kid Fury and Crystal from The Read. Definitely rocking my Words Mean Things shirt because yes, we here, we lit. These niggas sold out the Apollo, girl. Like sold out, standing room only. Like it was.
Were you there to see the beginning of it?
Yes, I saw it in rehearsal, but I was, but I did get to see it like with like the audience, and it was so good.
Did they come out and dance too?
Fury and Crystal?
No, the kids. Joyful.
Yeah, did they come out and dance?
Yeah.
You didn't see it?
I only saw the beginning. Somebody only recorded the beginning.
Oh no, I think it's look on like Twitter or something.
I did.
Oh, Crystal retweeted it. No, she put up the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I'll check on her page.
Anyway, but yeah, so shout out to them. So good. So happy for y'all. Shout out to Asante. Thanks for having me secure the shirt because this is my first piece of Read merch. And I'm so happy. So that is it. I believe this is the last Friday of Black History Month, so y'all turn all the way the fuck up.
All the way up.
Anytime.
Make all the noise.
Yes. Speaking of noise, anytime somebody pull up with you with some bullshit this weekend, a colonizer, you get your bark on. I'm not going to do it now because I'm on vocal rest because I'm going on tour next month. But you know I'm going on tour? because Beyonce's fucking coming. I'm telling you, mark my words. By the time May 5th gets here, Beyonce... Y'all have a good weekend.
Happy Friday.